I feel like I should include some Bud Light and some Tampax too, because we need to cancel all of these brands. We need to cancel all of them. And I want to
So wild, like they went from being like cancel culture, 1984, Greg Orvin, it's happening everywhere, so much cancel culture, the left is obsessed with cancellation, we believe in free speech, and now they're just openly like, we need to cancel, let's cancel them all, cancel them, we need the Ministry of Truth, we need to double speak this erase the language, erase all of it.
Welcome back to the show. You know, I am fortunate enough that I get to meet people from all walks of life, all different sorts of influences, and people from different backgrounds and perspectives. The world is kind of being thrown at us in a weird way these days. Now, I know that that's always been true. As long as there's been people, there's been weird stuff in society. But it kind of feels these days like we're under attack. We've seen that recently in a lot of the ad campaigns that have come out with major corporations, people that are very powerful out there dictating to us how we should spend our money. But yet we know that these companies that are very well-known household names a lot of times hold different values. That's why, for instance, I've consistently talked about having a parallel economy and how we've got to support those folks that have businesses that share our values, that we know that our money is going to the right places. And we're not having things quite literally crammed down our throats. It's amazing that we live in a world where, our consumerism is being politicized in such a way that...
He's describing marketing. Well, you know what's wild? I like that just by buying a different product from a different distributor, that's somehow known as a parallel economy. You've invented an entirely separate economic system to the main one by doing so, yes.
We have no recourse of action to speak out and to speak back against those things that we don't believe in. My guest is Bree Teresi, and Bree is she's a golfer, she's a model, she's an influencer, she's an all-around great person, and she joins the program. Bree, how are you?
Hi, Chad. Thank you so much for having me on your show today. I'm doing really well. I'm in Los Angeles right now, trying to survive.
Yeah, trying to survive. That's exactly right. Don't catch anything while you're out there with the culture craziness that's out there. I know how that can go.
Don't worry. Yesterday, I was walking around with a shirt that said "More God, Less Government." I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
I love that. And, we've got a brand, the Real Women's Club, realwomensclub.com. I got to send you some shirts. Got to get some sent out there to you. And that's what we do. We try to trigger people that are just basically into thinking and reminding you that men matter, women matter. Seems like corporate America doesn't believe that anymore. You've somewhat been, as a woman, as a female, as a biological woman, that's offensive to say that someone's a biological female. You've been exploited, like so many women in society have, by these big companies that are out there. Tell me about your experience with this.
Okay, so in the news recently, probably the reason why I'm on the show right now was a lingerie brand that I had worked with for the past few years on social media and modeled for. They decided to use a biological male in some of their photos that they posted on Instagram. And when I saw this, I was immediately triggered, obviously. I went to the comment section.
You fucking snowflakes. You're all such snowflakes. And you're saying it out loud without a shred of irony either. It's like, I was immediately triggered. Yeah, once I saw that, I was just, oh my God, a biological male.
And I wrote how I felt, and I told them that they were jumping on the bandwagon and they had become woke. This company claimed to be created by women for women, yet they are literally using a male to model their lingeries, and it's ridiculous. So I posted this, I made a public statement, and I noticed that the American people from...
Damn. I did not think this was going to look as good as it does.
Both walks of life, so whether you're a liberal or you're a conservative, they agreed with me, and they think that this is ridiculous. And we're seeing this with obviously tons of huge companies like you.
I'm sorry, but why did this one offend you?
Named have gone woke, and these companies need to realize that
favorite chick, damn, I'd hit it in a mace. See, that's a compliment and a half.
That there are their actions will have consequences,
Yeah.
and people are fed up. So I love how you were talking about a parallel economy, and I love that even with Blaze. Blaze is now a really large media company, and they have gone against the mainstream news, and we have to do this with brands such as even Tampax. Has gone woke. They've used biological males now in their ads, which is obviously ridiculous. Men do not get periods, and they never will. So we need to support brands that support our values, because at the end of the day, money talks, and the companies we're giving our money to are the ones that are going to flourish.
Trans men do though, yeah, but I'm sure this person would still say that that's a biological female. That's not. Come on, what are you trying to say?
No, you're exactly right on that. You made a great point in talking about people on both sides.
Yeah, so do non-binary
we
people
tend to
too.
we tend to politicize everything. Like somebody's got to come down on the right or the left. This is not that issue. Like when it comes to Anheuser-Busch and the Bud Light thing, I saw people say, yeah, conservatives are pushing back with their dollars and these companies are feeling it. I don't necessarily think it's conservatives, quote, end quote. I think that it's just people with a certain values that are
No, normies are not smashing fucking trucks into fucking Budweiser cans. That's conservatives. It's normies are seeing it and going like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? That is really funny too. That warms my heart to see. Just seeing every single conservative, sorry, every normie like in the background, like you can just hear them in the videos being like, what is that motherfucker doing? He's smashing the Busch Light. Oh, he thinks it's Bud Light. Oh, he thinks, oh my god, oh no. Oh no.
tired of having this stuff, just thrust upon them. Now you really.
Oh, this is who it is. Oh, I didn't know this was the same person. This one is one of the saddest ones. Like, so this one, by the way, she did this at the tail end. She did not catch this when the wave was happening, and this, again, it's basically fucking the ice bucket challenge for transphobes. She did it near the tail end, and it's one of the sadder ones, just because, like, well, you'll see. I'm sure they'll let it play out.
That is fun. It's funny. Triggered a lot of people, which I think that's why we do what we do. And
pick out the first couple. Now people were like, he was aiming at the bras
on them. Now you really
okay, that doesn't make this less ridiculous and a massive waste of just a lot of resources in general.
A video that is fun. It's funny. Triggered a lot of people, which I think that's.
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't know what you all think triggered is. Like, is triggered just like you're annoyed? Okay, so no, I was not triggered by this event. If anything, I was like, that's fucking sad. Laughed a little giggle, Oh, that was about it.
Why we do what we do. And people are like, oh, this is cringe. I can't believe I love this, right? You take.
I love this. So great, fucking shooting them, shooting the bras. Shooting the beer. What's not to like,
Thank you. Thank you.
I love it. I think it's great. You get out there. I mean, listen, as a red-blooded American male, there's nothing better than a girl with a gun. I mean,
yeah, I was horny. Yeah, I finished a couple times. Took a couple playthroughs on the second one. Parts don't work as good as they used to, but hell yeah, I got there. I'm loving this thing.
Yeah, amen.
I'm assuming you got the AR-15 there. And you've got the lingerie, you got the Tampax, you got the Bud Light, and
you got all the stereotypes. And they're all fucking there. There's fucking beautiful things, I rose to the occasion. You know what I'm saying?
You're just lighting it all up.
Thank you, Dr. Gamble.
How was it making that video?
So what I thought was funny, so originally, actually my whole family was involved in this. I got a call from my aunt who, bless her heart, I love my Auntie Teresi.
That's so sad. It's so sad. Y'all, we gotta do this. We gotta take a stand. Let's get all damn bras, get them Bud Lights in the background there.
She called me and she's like, Bree, you gotta go shoot at some lingerie. She's like, you have tons of friends that have shooting ranges. You need to do this. And I said, okay. And she's like, you know what? Also, I want you to fill up balloons filled with paint, and I want you to shoot at those balloons and just completely destroy the lingerie. And I was thinking, I'm like, okay, well, I'll do that, but I feel like I should include some Bud Light and some Tampax too, because we need to cancel all of these brands. We need to cancel all of them. And I want to
So wild. Like they went from being like cancel culture, 1984, Greg Orvin, it's happening everywhere. So much cancel culture. The left is obsessed with cancellation. We believe in free speech. And now they're just openly like, we need to cancel. Let's cancel them all. Cancel them. We need the Ministry of Truth. We need to double speak this shit. Erase the language. Erase all of it.
Touch on this a little bit. I've talked on Fox News. I was talking about how this is obviously like a war against women. They're totally trying to destroy what it means to be a woman. These people can't even define what a woman is. But I think ultimately this is a war against men and women, but men even more so, because they're trying to destroy what masculinity is all about. They don't want men to be powerful. They don't want men to be the head of the household, and they're going after gender.
All right. Here's the truth. Okay, I'll give you all the secrets. Here's the secrets from the left. It's that people should not be forced to have to live up to these gendered stereotypes. Okay, it's totally normal if someone's looking on the screen right now and it's like, that's super hot. That's very hot. That's very sexy to me. As a red-blooded American, I find that sexy. Also normal if you're someone like me and you're like, they're both very sexy. On the right, also exquisite. Everything going down here is pleasing to the eye, all right? That doesn't change the fact that, like, suddenly, well, men can't be powerful. What do you mean by powerful? That's such a weird way of putting it. Powerful? Men can't be powerful? Like, how do you dictate power? If it's like men can't be physical abusers, yes. That's a good thing. Men should not be physical abusers in relationships. Men should not be mental abusers in relationships. Men should not be continuously thinking that and having an expectation that their worth as a man should be determined strictly on their ability to continuously conquer. Yes, we're all in competition with each other. We're all fighting for the best. We all have to get the hottest trophy wife, the best job, the best house, and that's the only way that my worth as a man can be validated. It's all, and I have to find my trad wife. Why do you think fucking all these dudes, there's an entire generation of fucking angry incels? Because this whole concept of women are property, women are not only property, but they're property to be won by men. And men, you have to be the alpha male or the sigma male. He slips in the back door. But either way, you have to be this kind of fucking alpha figure who's going to be able to get the woman and my woman. And then she has to be subservient to me. And she has to give me sex. And she has to give me... No, because all the people who can't achieve this weird version of the world that's super fucked up, now they're all mad. Now they're all angry. Now they're like, I'm being denied sex by the women folk. The femoids are denying me their vaginas. I'm owed vagina. I am man. This is wrong. I was taught to believe this. Now we are going to unite in our inceldom and all this shit. It's because it's coming from a place of them thinking that a part of their self-worth happens to be of the ability to conquer and fucking take over, take themselves some brides, take themselves some wives, take themselves some ladies, and those ladies in turn have to be subservient to the men. It's all gonna be about, well, the men have to be the breadwinners and the women have to be sexy as fuck, and then they have to stay sexy as fuck. They better not change in any way at any single time in their lives, because their value is gonna be associated with how sexy they are. See, women are objects to be won, and men are the conquerors who have to go win those objects. But it turns out this dynamic fucks with a lot of people. It's really unhealthy. Fucks with everyone. Actually, it fucks with men too. It's not good. It's not good for boys. Not good for boys to be all these weird, emotionally stunted, fucking angry as fuck people at women. Having all these men angry at women because it's all framed in such a way where it's like women are trying to manipulate you. Women are trying to control you with their bodies and their physiques, but you men, you can beat them. You can hack the Matrix. You can get the Andrew Tate course and you'll learn how to get all the money you want through crypto, and then you can dominate. And then you can have yourself a whole bunch of women who you exploit by basically making them into sex workers and then taking their money and garnishing their wages. That's how a real man is supposed to be. Fucks dudes up, all this shit, all of it. It's not healthy. It's not realistic. It gives you an unhealthy obsession with women and makes you think that women are somehow an enemy in all this when they're suffering just as much. It sucks for women too. That, like, who the fuck wants to be just the prizes to be won and their value being that best prize rather than, I don't know, their intelligence, their creativity, their sense of humor, anything, their ability to produce and create amazing things just like dudes and reinforcing these things over and over and over. It sucks for everyone.
Like in general, they want to destroy, obviously, like no man looks like that model wearing lingerie that's pictured right here. Like that's ridiculous. That's an embarrassment
Wait, are you saying these are unrealistic expectations? Because I'll admit, yes, it's kind of hard to get that physique, and like not everyone is born with like the perfect curvature peach bum. I mean, these are obviously things that like would probably encourage most people who have those features to become models.
To men.
No, it is. And if you look at those two pictures, I don't know if you could see it or not, but we've got the side by side of him with you.
Chad. So transparently horny and all this shit. We're gonna do, we should probably invite that model, the one who's like basically showing off her ass and stuff. Yeah, we'll put her up on the screen, then we'll put up that degenerate photo side by side. Hopefully it's not gonna have any kind of weird effects on us. It might kind of, turn us into hypnosis. I don't know what happens with that kind of stuff, but when you look at both of them at the same time, and then maybe I'll talk to her, and then maybe some things can get explored and we can learn about our deep feelings.
And that is a perfect case of one of these is not like the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
are you guys 12? This is the shit that we were saying in fucking high school. You like that? Gay? Yeah, no, see, one of those, gay. One of those fucking gay, bro. Oh, the one fucking hot as fuck. Look at those titties. Look at that ass. Oh, bro, yeah, no, wood. Oh, man, oh, yeah, I would tap that so hard. How would you tap that? So what, bro? How would you tap that exactly? What are your plans to tap said ass? Do you have a game plan in the tappage or what? Well, I'm not gonna do the gay thing, bro. It's like, no, sure as fuck, Not gonna look at that picture, and the other side's gay.
And if you look at this guy, and I went over to his Instagram when I first saw this this campaign. I went over to see.
Did you know, Chad? Ooh, a lot of tails going down. Same thing like, the other day when, Candace Owens was talking about Steven Crowder and being like, he's kind of got an unhealthy obsession with me. Sometimes like, drops into my comments to say how good looking I am and stuff. And then I went onto his wife's Instagram to see whether or not she was following him, and then saw that she wasn't following him. And that's when I learned, that's when I knew that, they were getting a divorce. I'm like, ooh, it sounds like a lot of you are doing some stuff behind the scenes. Chad's like, yeah, I went into this campaign, went to the guy's Instagram, went through all the photos, downloaded some of them. I had to analyze them. This was for research purposes.
Because I'm like, okay, who are we dealing with here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
this is Satan.
Obviously, this is a person who has embraced a certain lifestyle. And there's a lot of people out there who embrace a lot of different lifestyles. There may be lifestyles I don't agree with, and that's one thing. But again, when it's thrust upon,
you get it, right? You see, these are, and it could not be a bigger compare and contrast right now. These are the exact same levels of sexualization. The exact same. Now, you can say that this one is playing into some different tropes. There might be the femboy aspect to it as well. But in both cases, and I mean, maybe this is easier for me, they're the same levels of like sexualization in both directions. If you see this and you're a heterosexual male and you're like, damn, sexy, hell yeah. Gay guys are looking at this one and thinking the same too. Sexual people who are attracted to men are most likely, if they are attracted to this person, by the way, they're not by default attracted to every single guy just because they're gay. But if they are and they happen to be, same feelings, blah, blah, blah. But in this, it's like, well, I mean, you like this one here, you're embracing the lifestyle. But if you like that one there, you're just normal red-blooded American. You know what I'm saying?
That's toxic. We can't have that. And so they've very much weakened men in a big way. And now in a big way, they're coming after women. And that, to me, that exploitation is where, as a toxic male, I stand up to that because I'm like, we've got to stop this now because.
This also, like, I forget who said it. Maybe it was Casey Tron. I think Casey Tron posted the other day about how, like, she feels really sorry for conservative women because this is like the mentality and the shit they say out loud, right? They're always talking about how, like, the traditional family life, men have to be the head of the household, women have to be, doting servants to them, and they basically have to try and make sure that their lives are optimal, and they serve their men in all things, and that's what a woman's role is, and that's what a man's role is. When you see it play out in real life, it's horrifying, right? You'll see the Crowder clips, or just look at all the long list of people who are divorced or have a history of domestic abuse or verbal abuse or spousal abuse, all this kind of shit, because yeah, it is not a healthy lifestyle. It is not a healthy lifestyle in either direction. And to be like, well, I'm a proud toxic male, yeah, when I see a pair of titties, I know what I was like.
If you carry that out, the end game, the consequences are not good. You're in this world, you get a lot of your Instagram, you got 1.5 million followers on Instagram alone. That's huge for an Instagram page. I know you have a lot of voices coming at you. and you're a woman who has the backbone to stand against that. How hard is this pressure
Is there a question
coming
here,
at you to basically encourage you to cave?
So I love how you said that. And you know, it's
By the way, they always frame this woke mafia shit like as if, like, you know, if you dare to step out of line, the woke mob will come for you and destroy you. You know the best example of this? Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein rejected Jordan Peterson, and in doing so, Jordan Peterson made a proclamation where it's like, oh, they're gonna come for you one day, Ethan. You'll never be pure enough. The woke moralists will eventually consume and destroy you. Rah. So I think since that's happened, Ethan's probably been canceled like 9 times. 9 maybe, right, for doing like shitty shit, right? Like one of them was like just dropping a whole bunch of homophobic tropes, talking about how like, oh, who the fucking, what's the deal with the tops and the bottoms, like don't you get poo on yourself or something, like just saying shit like obviously you don't mean it with malice. This is the same shit that I used to say all the fucking time, and I used to think all the fucking time, because we all do. Well, it's just broadly, generally speaking, this is just like, you don't realize how coded this shit is until you start to take a step back. Do you know those memes on the internet where it shows like, it showed all of these right-wing conservatives, but they used AI to make them all look like hardcore drag queens? And so like, here's a picture of Lindsey Graham as a hardcore drag queen. Here's a picture of Ted Cruz as a hardcore drag queen. Like, that's being done in earnest by well-to-do, probably libs, who are making something like that with AI, and then it's being shared and going viral online, again, by well-to-do libs. But it's like, look at how feminine or gay they are. Look at that. Look at all these. I know it's about the hypocrisy, but the hypocrisy works if you catch someone in the act of. If you haven't caught them in the act of, you're just making a bunch of pictures right now where it's like, look how F-slur these all are. Look at these F-slurs. Look at them. Look at all these F-slurs right now. Look at all the pictures. Look at how F-slurry they are, right? And you don't even think about that, because you could be at the same time in earnest being like, hey, like these guys are trying to make lives terrible for those our friends, the LGBTQ plus community. So I'm sharing these pictures. Look at them. They're all a bunch of drag queens. Haha. But you don't even realize what is the butt of this joke. Like, why is it embarrassing for them to be in these kind of photos and stuff? It's not just hypocrisy. It's because you've made them look very gay, or you made them look very effeminate, and that's bad, and that's embarrassing, and you don't think about this. We don't unpack all this stuff until we start to take a big step back and we're like, oh damn, you know?
crazy. People keep on asking me this, and I believe God. I mean, I'm a woman of faith. I know I pose in swimsuits and lingerie, but I am a woman of faith at the end of the day. And I know God has me here for a reason, and I'm not scared, and I'm not.
Like the Crowder picture you shared on Twitter? Well, the Crowder picture on Twitter, that's actually him. This is not AI. You talking about this one? And avert your eyes, everyone. Maybe content, or maybe I'll just put it down here, because we'll just say there's quite a bit of crotch exposed. But yeah, that's very different. Being like, this is the person who's constantly telling people who are fucking you know, dressed in drag or other stuff like that, and he's man-spreading quite a bit, and as the comments do say, mother does tuck, right? That's all true. Mother does tuck. But I'm just gonna say that, like, that's different than using AI to generate a picture of Steven Crowder looking super gay, you know, super gay.
I'm not backing down, because I have so much support from my friends and family and people on the internet. Yeah, I'm getting some hate messages too, but I know this is where God wants me right now, and he's planned this for a long, long time, and I'm ready to stand up and fight for Americans, because people need young men, young women to do what's right, because at the end of the day, they're attacking Gen Z. They're not really attacking me or you. They're attacking the younger populations, because they're trying to make these people think, like these young, you know, teenagers or kids think that this is all right, and this is what we should aspire to be like. We should be getting rid of gender. We should have women not feeling like women. We should have men not feeling like men. And so I'm doing this because I'm fighting for the younger generations, and I know this is what God wants me to be doing.
Well, you know, as a dad myself, you know, of kids that are Gen Z, I personally want to say thank you for making the stand. People have no idea. I mean, you are a smart, you're a witty. You have a foundation of knowing who you are. On top of that, you're a beautiful woman.
I would love you to extrapolate on that. I would love you to talk about why you think she's intelligent and why you think she's witty. Just provide examples, right? Because I know you're a fan, but I have a sneaking suspicion you're a fan for one reason and one reason alone. I think that's as far as this goes. But hey, I mean, if you're really well versed in some of her writing or stuff like that, or you've seen other interviews where you thought that she had just done a very, very brilliant retort, then I would love to hear about that as well and figure that whole stuff out. Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form, available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Juste, we shall spend many a generations building mighty cathedrals in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your oafish jesters, here to offer you a laugh at any opportunity. To our brave knights of the Round Table, Rachel K., Izzy Solidarity, Victoria Bell, Sebastian Demmel, Mark Harmon, Benji Arney, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood, Everything Important, Hegbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Doug Cady, Daniel Sutton, Jenna Tao, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevbot EXE, Brian Ephraim, Anthropophojack, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Nkosin, Ralph Parler, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Todd Buckingham, and Todd La Jeunesse. We salute our valiant heroes off to fight injustice everywhere.